My daughter-in-law tried to kick me out, but I own the house. I never thought my own son would try to kick me out of my house, but here I am writing this post on my phone from the safety of my car. I'm an elderly woman in my late 70s. I worked hard my whole life and saved every penny. I was able to buy a house for my son when he got married. The house was big enough for him, his wife, and any kids they might have. It was also close to my home so I could look after them. They moved in shortly after they were married and everything was fine until their daughter was born. My daughter-in-law stopped speaking to me. She didn't like the fact that I had pictures of my husband and I up around the house. She said they were creepy and she wanted me to take them down. When I refused, she said that I was being deliberately difficult and she'd had enough of me. That was the last straw. I tried to talk to her and tell her that I was just trying to be a good mother-in-law, but she wouldn't even let me explain. She told me to pack my things and leave. Her exact words were, "You are no longer welcome here. You need to find somewhere else to live." To say I was shocked is an understatement. This was my house. I bought it with my own money. How could she tell me to leave my own house? I argued with her and told her she was being unreasonable, but she just told me to shut up and get out. My son wasn't much better. He just stood there watching me while I packed my things, not saying a word. I couldn't believe what was happening. My own flesh and blood turning against me. When I had all my things packed, I drove to my friend's house. I couldn't believe what my son and daughter-in-law had done. I couldn't go back to my house because they had changed the locks. All my stuff was still inside. My friend told me to calm down and think about what to do next. She made some tea and we started to brainstorm ideas. The only thing I could think of was to go to my lawyer and see if I could force them to let me back into my house so I could at least get my stuff. My daughter-in-law had changed the locks and was refusing to let me back in. I contacted my lawyer and explained the situation. He said that since the house was in my name, I should have no problem getting back in. He said that if my son and daughter-in-law were refusing me entry, then they were committing a crime. The lawyer went with me to my house and demanded that they let me back in. My daughter-in-law screamed at us, but the police officer on duty told her to calm down and that she would be arrested if she didn't stop screaming. After they heard the police officer, my daughter-in-law reluctantly unlocked the door and let us in. My lawyer went through the house and took an inventory of my belongings. Then we all went back to my lawyer's office. My lawyer told my daughter-in-law that if she didn't give me back my stuff, she would be in big trouble. She had no choice but to agree. She had to sign a document stating that she would return all my property or face criminal charges. As soon as she signed the papers, I went back to my house and started taking my stuff out. My daughter-in-law and son weren't there, probably hiding in their room, hoping I wouldn't find them. I did find them, though. I confronted them and told them that they needed to leave my house. They had no right to be there since the house was in my name. My daughter-in-law told me that she didn't care and that I had to leave if I wanted them to leave. I told them that they were trespassing and that I was going to call the police. They knew they were in trouble, so they packed their things and left. That was over a year ago. My son and daughter-in-law haven't spoken to me since. I don't know where they live now. I don't want to know. I'm still living in the house I bought for my son. It may have been my mistake to leave it in his name instead of putting it in my name, but I couldn't have imagined that my own grandchild would turn against me. Am I wrong for kicking them out of my house?